I may talk about a lot of superheroes on here, but at heart, I'm a Spider-Man guy. And with all the casting tidbits and just attention to plot the new Spider-Man 4 movie's getting, I figured I'd chime in and share my opinion on how this movie should be structured so we don't get another, Spider-Man 3. Before I say my thoughts on Spider-Man 4, let me say I didn't hate Spider-Man 3 as much as everyone else, but I do understand kind of where they were coming from. I mean, Sam Raimi completely overdosed on plot lines and characters, totally pushed freaking Venom to like the end of the movie and made him just a total side character. Not even a side character, it was pretty much a cameo. And the plot was very truncated and it was hard to care about anything. But it was entertaining. I mean, it wasn't anything that bad, but I do agree that the series does need some dramatic improvement. I'm going to be kind of realistic here, not just like speculate on who I think should be the villain and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to talk about where we are right now and how we can kind of structure the plot here. Now, it was announced today that they're pursuing John Malkovich to play the Vulture. Now, let's face it, the Vulture is a weak villain. It's basically a guy going through his midlife crisis. It's just some old guy going like, I have nothing to do. I run out of my equity bill. I'm going to build green suit and fly around. Ha 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 ha. But yet, there could be something kind of powerful here. And with a great performance actor like Malkovich, he could possibly give a very powerful performance as this old man who has no direction in his life, so he just built a vulture suit. I'm not saying it will work, but if there's anybody who's going to make a perfectly weird, like crazy, insane asylum type character work like this, it's John Malkovich. Next bit of casting. They've apparently said that they were saying that they were pursuing Anne Hathaway to play Black Cat. Not Catwoman, Black Cat. And I think this is a great character. Personally, I think, and I'm going to get into why I really think Black Cat would be an amazing direction to go with this fourth movie in a second, but I just think Anne Hathaway is a great choice. But today, when they announced John Malkovich, they said that instead of having her playing the Black Cat, they're having her play this weird side character that was never in the comics called the Vultress. Now, they might be going for a kind of Joker Harley Quinn thing here, and I kind of see how this age difference might make for like an interesting relationship, but I mean, Black Cat is just a hell of a lot more interesting, and and again, I'm going to get into this in a second, but Anne Hathaway would be a great Catwoman, and I really don't want her to just be reduced to the side character while John Malkovich is just going, I'm the Vulture, and she's like, I'm Vulture's sidekick. Hee hee hee. I was really looking forward to like a stronger female character, and I really don't think this is going to be the one. I know you want to see the Lizard. I kind of want to see the Lizard. But let's not, like, just complain about it. I mean, if they're going to do him, they're going to do him. But we can't get mad just because they're not doing the exact villain we want. I'll give you this. He has potential, but we've seen it before. I mean, guy turns into a monster, goes, rah, 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 and then he's like, I've created something horrifying, and then he kills himself. I mean, it's just, now I'm going to get into the actual plot and why I think Black Cat would be an incredible direction to go with in the series, and what I personally think the main thrust of the storyline should be. Okay, for the past 3 movies, Peter and Mary Jane have had a very 1950s, oh gee, Mary Jane, not just love you so much relationship. And you know what? I'm sick of that. I'm sick of him just constantly going, I love you, Mary Jane, I love you. And Mary Jane is going, why don't you ever spend time with me? I'm just gonna whine and complain about every little thing you do, even though I have no control over it. And you know what? Even though they do argue from time to time, they're just not a good couple. They just, ugh. I'm just sick of them seeing them together. And I really need someone to just shake this whole situation up. Because quite frankly, seeing these two just blush over each other for 3 movies straight is starting to get on my nerves. And boys, don't you dare freak out. This is where I think the Black Cat would be much more interesting. But stay with me for a minute because this might end up sounding like something straight out of Twilight, and while I definitely don't want that, it's going to end up interesting, trust me. Spider-Man's a guy who has to live his entire life out of responsibility to having to fight this crime. And Black Cat is someone who does it blissfully just out of joy. She just likes kicking ass and taking names. But when these two meet, it's going to have like a sexy kind of provocative type of feel because he's going to be impressed that he's actually met someone who can keep up with him, fight crime with him, and also just kind of attracts him. And then it's going to have a split between the little whiny, complainy, redheaded girl he's had to deal with for 3 to 5 years now. And the movie will have a conflict because he'll have to choose between wanting to be free with this girl who's a much better pick than Mary Jane, or having to be a house husband who has a little secret that he has to jump out of the window and fight crime eventually sometimes. I really don't think Vulture should be like a huge prominent character. I think that this relationship and its development and him choosing between freedom and being a house pet is going to be a lot more interesting than I'm a guy in a midlife crisis reveals Vulture suit. And he should just be a side character that Spider-Man and Black Cat have to like kick the ass of it sometimes. Well, it might sound bad to you right now or just a little bit of soap opera-y. If you know the character and you know sorry, what the comics are like, then you are going to really like the way this relationship develops. And just this, I can't stress this enough, just the choice he has to make, and it'll be the most interesting moral dilemma of the series. I'm getting really sick of, oh, just fight the villain, woo Mary Jane, and be done. You know what? Me and an entire chorus line of fanboys could complain like, oh, Sam Raimi did Spider-Man 3 so horrible. How's he gonna do Spider-Man 4 right? But you know what? That's not gonna help the cause one bit. And the only way we're gonna help the cause is if we have our voices heard. Those are just my thoughts, and I know this is gonna get a bunch of comments saying, oh, this is just gonna be a lot like Twilight, it's gonna be stupid like Twilight. And as long as it doesn't have a bad external conflict, I don't think this will be a problem. So those are just my early thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment on it, whatever. I'm open to all thoughts, criticisms, and opinions, besides Twilight comparisons. And that's about it. So, see ya.